Hip-hop is dead because we artists no longer have the power. In 2006, Nas claimed that artists had lost their power. TikTok didn't exist yet, but 20 years later, in 2026, we know exactly what he is talking about. This video isn't going to be about how playing a song in 1,000 videos ruins it for you, or how some artists will launch their career on TikTok. We're going to talk about something deeper. There used to be something called story in an album, believe it or not. And albums weren't just playing a bunch of songs by an artist that they just threw together one year. The album's intention was to lead you on a journey. The journey that these albums can take you on are retrospective, emotional, or anecdotal. The artist's goal is to communicate something to the listener that you will take away from that and you'll remember this album by. Go to any of these albums that have story and you'll find interlude, skits, and other pieces of songs that aren't just meant for playlists or radio hits. The two albums I want to highlight are Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar and Blonde by Frank Ocean. These, obviously, you have heard of them. They're some of the most popular albums of all time. And Good Kid, Mad City has held a spot on the top 200 Billboard for over 700 weeks, while Blonde is obviously, people consider it one of the greatest albums of all time. But these albums aren't as great as they are just because they have good songs. They create a world, and they lead you through the world through emotion, lyrics, instrumentals, and storytelling. Now, think about eras of music that we remember. The 90s gave us Illmatic, they gave us Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and they gave us Wu-Tang Clan at Enter the 36 Chambers. Then the 2000s, they gave us Mad Villainy, Stankonia, and The College Dropout. The 2010s is one of the best eras of music of all time. It has some of the most diverse, emotionally intelligent, and incredible music that I know of. But now look at the 2020s. What did they give us? They gave us Central C, Drake, Gunna, Ice Spice, these people that shake ass on stage and give radio hits every once in a while. It's not a story that they give, and it's not a journey. I'm not saying that their music is bad. Actually, some of it is decent, but what I am trying to figure out is if this is what we want the 2020s to be remembered for. If you look at the songs that are made, they're built around the hooks and the choruses because that's what goes viral. That's what TikTok likes. That's what people sing in the clubs. Albums that they create aren't truly built as an album that's to build a story. It's to create a shotgun of as many songs as possible to shoot at a canvas to hopefully get a banger that will play on the radios, that will play on TikTok, that someone will be singing and get hundreds of millions of streams. And TikTok has had an inherent effect on how the label will pay their artists to release music. The label wants to get songs that boom, they want lots of streams, so they'll pay artists to create these songs, and it creates that spiral. TikTok gets it viral, artists get viral, and they want to do it more. But this isn't truly what music is about. Years down the line, you won't remember who the artist was or what impact they had on your life. You'll just remember, oh, that's a TikTok song, that's just fodder. But music will find its way back, and it always does. The culture will steer itself back, and there's artists already doing it. Artists like Tyler the Creator, Jid, Baby Keem, and Little Sims, and plenty of others are already spearheading the culture back to what it was. There is music that blurs together, and there is music that is entertaining enough to cut through the fog of boredom. That's the music that people will truly remember in the future. Nas said that artists no longer have the power, but maybe they can get it back. They can tell stories that give listeners the chills, or make an album that people will tell their friends, this album changed my life. That's what needs to happen to steer the culture back to story.